Hi there, this is the Shawn1113 podcast show. I am your host, Shawn1113. Thank you for listening to this podcast and this content, wherever platform you're listening to, anywhere and everywhere in the world. And as a reminder, please comment, put a 5-star rating, or either by email at Shawn47k at gmail.com or via Spotify for podcasters.com via voice message. But either way, thank you for listening. Just want to make a couple of things here. Want to explain, it's been a very busy week. My equipment has been working the best this week. It's been finally fixed, but also I have had a pretty busy week actually. So it's been kind of hectic with like I said, any issues I have in my life has already been fixed. So for right now, at this point, I'm doing this later than I usually do. So my apologies for that. But let's get into sports. NFL, college football this weekend. We only have one game already played. Picked Jacksonville over New Orleans, and Jacksonville won that game. Also, NFL football. I'm going to probably give you the predictions for some of the college football plays. Also, over and under on the NFL. And I'm going to list all that available. I'm only going to list pretty much the straight up version, plus the over and under, plus the college football as well. Major League Baseball, things are heating up in the NL in the League Championship Series, respectively. NHL season, I didn't even know it was already on already, but it's on. NBA pretty soon, college basketball pretty soon. All kinds of sports are coming pretty soon, actually. On with the college football picks. Last night, James Madison and Marshall play. I was wondering if who won that game, so I don't know who won that game, but I was right on. Excuse me. Sorry about that. It's been a pretty busy morning so far as I'm recording here. As of this recording, James Madison and Marshall. Let me check and see who won that game. That game real quick. Sorry. My apologies for the delay. Let me see. I'm putting it up. Oh, James Madison won, so I was right. So I did pick JMU and they won 20-9 on that one. So I was right on that. I was right on Jacksonville over New Orleans. Let me. I'm sorry. I'm just all over the place this week. In many ways. I will say this about this just came up yesterday about the Michigan allegations of cheating and spying. Is it another New England situation? I'm not so sure, but whatever it is in the era that we have NIL money, you have to cheat, and it's a big also might be very much a bigger deal because Michigan, as of this but this podcast, is still the number 2 team in the nation. So there's a lot of things that can. There's a lot of variables. There's a lot of things can happen at the University of Michigan. At Michigan on these allegations, we'll see what happens there. Keep your eye on that. And I was saying it before, the league championship series, things gotten pretty interesting. Houston won last night at this recording. Arizona finally won a game. We'll see what happens there. Now on to the picks. Let's go to the college picks real quick. Like I said, James Madison and Marshall, I picked JMU, and James Madison won. Clemson and Miami, I'm actually going to click Clemson here. And I'm a Miami fan, but they haven't. I mean, Miami did not show up against North Carolina. and should have had no business losing against Georgia Tech. I don't know. Game of the week to me, Penn State or Ohio State. I'm picking Ohio State. Duke and Florida, picking Florida State. Florida State, picking Florida State. Minnesota and Iowa, picking Minnesota. Tennessee and Alabama. Will there be a repeat of Tennessee being Alabama and Knoxville? Quite possible. I'm picking Tennessee. Although I would not be surprised it's a low-scoring game, and the Alabama's defense might be the difference. Washington State or Oregon. Oregon will win after a great game against Washington against Oregon. Terrific game if you have not had a chance to see the highlights of that game. Really good game. Oregon will bounce back against a Washington State team that was pretty bad against Arizona. Got embarrassed, really. Then an actual MAC game. Toledo over against Miami, Ohio. I'm picking Toledo. Appalachian State against Old Dominion. I'm picking Old Dominion for the upset. Utah and USC. I have no confidence in USC, especially their defense. I'm picking Utah. And then the FC1 game of the week. Furman against West Carolina. I'm picking Furman in that one. Now on to the NFL picks. The over and under. I'm like I said, I'm listening straight up, but this is the over and under version of it. Of the remaining 12 games. Las Vegas and Chicago, I'm picking under. The over-under is 37. It's going to be under 37. Cleveland and Indianapolis, over-under 40.5. It's going to be under 40.5. Buffalo, New England, it is 40, over and under. I'm going over 40. Washington and the New York Giants, over and under is 37.5. I'm going to go a little over. I think Washington wants to take their frustrations after last week's. They won last week, so we'll see what happens. Atlanta and Tampa Bay. I'm thinking the over-under is going to be 37.5. I'm going over. Detroit and Baltimore. I'm going to go over. And the over is 43. Over-under is 43. I'm going over. Pittsburgh and the Los Angeles Rams. Over and under is 44. I'm going under 44. Arizona and Seattle. Over and under is 44.5. Seattle is going to be Seattle straight up, but it's going to be over 44.5. Green Bay and Denver. If you ever going to, I don't know. Denver can score on occasion, but I don't know about Green Bay. Over and under is 45. I'm going to go under 45. Los Angeles Chargers and Kansas City Chiefs. Over and under is 48. I'm going to go over 48. And then Miami and Philadelphia on Sunday night, 51.5 is the over-under. I'm going to go over that, 51.5. And then San Francisco and Minnesota on Monday night, over-under is 44. I'm going to go over 44 on that. So that's it. That is the Shawn1113 podcast show. Again, a reminder, if you like this content, if you love this content, actually, just contact me at Shawn47k@gmail.com. That's Shawn47k@gmail.com. And via Spotify for podcasters.com, hit a voicemail message. Thank you for listening to the Shawn1113 podcast show, anywhere and everywhere in the world, on whatever platform you're listening to. Again, thank you so much for listening, and please stay encouraged no matter what.